I'm trying to make this a quick video. It might be a long one. That's why I'm giving myself 10 minutes, because I might end up rambling. The main subject of the video is based on something that I wanted to talk about for a while, but I need to get my head around it. Where a few weeks ago I was having a discussion with a few other Gothic people in the Gothic community, where if you identify with even the smallest element of right-wing politics, you are not welcome in that community, because you go against everything the community stands for. And if I also identify as a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, you're instantly told you don't have to be a conservative to be a Christian. You can be a liberal. And I can understand that viewpoint, considering that the whole point of the community is to rebel against the mainstream, rebel against restrictive laws. And if we look at the history of liberation, it's to liberate yourself from oppressive laws. And that's fair enough, because I will liberate against laws that oppress people. I'm not against that. Yet I got accused of being transphobic during this talk, and I'm not. If you wanna transition and find happiness as the opposite sex, you go for it. But the core issue that I have with the argument of you don't have to be a conservative to be a Christian or Muslim or Jew, it contradicts everything that our scriptures speaks about. Because God, we know him as Jehovah, Allah, or God, gave us laws to follow, and those laws that he gave us became the laws of the land that we then must follow. And we can't liberate ourselves against those laws. It's like, for example, take God out of it completely about this. So if you had obviously we've got laws that protect the general human rights. Our general rights as human beings, as people, to exist. They are there to protect us, whether you're gay, straight, trans, whatever. They're there to protect you. You cannot liberate against them. You cannot liberate yourself from those laws, because if you liberate yourself from those laws, where's your rights? Where's your right to exist if you've liberated yourself from those laws? Because then they're no longer there to protect you. If you liberate yourself from them and take them away, because that's what happens when you liberate a law that you deem as oppressive, the law gets taken away. So if you liberate yourself against those laws, they're not there to protect you anymore. You have no rights. And that's why, even without God in the picture, even without a deity in the picture that's created, because pagans have their own personification of their creator deity, and Buddhists, Hindus have a very similar concept. They have their own views. Taking a deity out of it that has introduced those laws, if you take away a law that is vital to your existence, you have nothing. And that is why that even if you identify as a liberal, that you have to have an element of conservatism in you. You have to have an element to conserve those laws that you've put in place, because you can liberate a law, get it replaced and put a new law in. You need to conserve that law, you need to protect that law, because the concept of conservatism is to conserve, is to protect. It's like the conservation parks that protect species that are endangered or near extinction. They're there to protect that species, those animals, from dying off. So if you take away a law and refuse to protect it, so you have a comfortable life, what is there? We've literally got nothing. So you can rebel against society. We can rebel against society. I can rebel against society as much as I like, because there are laws that are restrictive, that are oppressive, and those laws need to be reviewed. But there are some laws that I cannot rebel against because they're vital to my existence. They're vital to me being able to just exist as a person, as a human being. You can't rebel against that. So the idea that a goth, a punk, a metalhead is purely liberated from society itself, it has no place, because they rebel against everything that society has made for you. It's just not possible. You've got to have some kind of conservative aspect in you to protect the laws that you've just put in place to replace oppressive laws. So more liberating laws, you've got to protect them. Otherwise, what's the point? What is the actual point in us having any laws at all?